Hey everybody, welcome back to Jeff Bowles Central. It's been a while since I posted one of these mental health discussion videos. It's been a while since I posted much of anything. Um, I um, I haven't been having a totally difficult time mentally. Otherwise, whatever. Um, I have been a little bit triggered lately, and I have been a little symptomatic. Schizoaffective disorder, a little bit symptomatic. Nothing like a full blown psychosis or anything like that. I'm doing a lot better than that, personally speaking. But I have had some things that have kind of come along and triggered me, and I didn't really know how to kind of move through it so cleanly. I don't know if you can relate to that. I'm sure you can. You're a human being. But so schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder. Schizophrenia it affects less than 1% of the population, as far as we know. Okay, so it's actually a very rare, in all things considered, it's actually a very rare mental health disorder. So, and if you suffer from some kind of outsized mental health disorder or anything really that is big and that is rare-ish, you're going to find pretty quickly that there's not a lot of people who are understanding. And you're also going to find that there's like a lot of people, it might be even fewer, who are even willing to try. Um, and that's kind of important. If you can find a a partner or a friend, or if you're caregivers, or if you're a caregiver, I guess it doesn't, you don't have to be a caregiver, but or your parents or whatever. If you have people in your life, or even just a person who's like, I don't really get this, and it's kind of scary sometimes, but I'm kind of still willing to hang with you and learn about it and try to understand it. I mean, that's worth its weight in gold, and not everybody gets it, and that sucks. That sucks, really, because it's schizophrenia is tough, and it's very solitary what we go through. The hallucinations, for instance, just hallucinations. No one else is seeing this but you, or hearing it but you. So it's like, it is impossible to understand. It is. It really is. So people who even try are just angels. They're gold. You just need to hang on to those people, okay? But knowing that, and knowing that there's a far larger circle of human beings who do not get it, do not care to get it, think that they're still not doing anything or saying anything wrong necessarily by not trying, but that's going to be most people, and that's kind of the bad news, but it's also helpful to know. So I had an experience with extended family, and this person was kind of gone from my life, and the life of my family, for a little while. They came back. No hard feelings. Everything is kind of picking up a little bit where things were left off, except in regards to me. Now, I when I had my psychosis 7 years ago, it was really dangerous. Like, I really got out of control, and I'm not making any bones about that. Like, psychosis doesn't usually get dangerous, as I understand it. I mean, it can. God forbid. I don't want to lead anybody astray. I just want you to know the reality of the fact is that it can get dangerous. In my case, it absolutely did get dangerous. And I've gone over how and why. I don't care to dredge it up, just because it's still really hard for me, really, because I I like to think that I'm a decent human being most of the time, or try to be. And at that time, that was not my behavior, even though I was very, very, very much in the grips of being psychotic. Hearing things not real, seeing things not real, believing things not real, all the stuff, right? And in those 7 years, me and those who know me and who are in my life have had a chance to move on, to process it. Maybe I'm just speaking specifically of me. I've had a chance to process it. I've had therapy. I've had long nights where I'm just sitting up all night thinking, just hating everything that happened and everything that I did and everything that came out of my mouth, my brain. My brain let me down. Yeah. But I've had those nights and I've had those long therapy sessions and stuff. And it came home to me recently, and this is what triggered me, that not everybody has covered that mileage with me, and not everybody wants to anymore. So this person basically let me know through the grapevine that essentially I cannot be trusted because I have something that's very dark and sinister and dangerous, a mind virus kind of thing. They didn't say mind virus, but that was kind of the impression. And I don't begrudge them these beliefs. I don't care. This person can go on with their lives and I can go on with mine. We don't ever have to see or talk to each other ever again. As far as I'm concerned, it's okay. But it did hurt because that's not how people used to see me, and now it is. And that's reality, right? And that's just stone cold truth. And life is like that anyway. Even in the best of times, things happen, things come around, and circumstances change, and things get real, and things get unreal, and distance is traveled that cannot be traveled back. You can't take away things that have already occurred, but you can move on from it. So if I'm moving on, I have to live with myself. See, I think what I've finally come to realize here, just in this little instance, is that you still have to live with yourself, flaws and all. Like, everything that's wrong with you, assume it never changes. What would you do? I mean, I don't want to hear the suicide option. I don't want to trigger anybody. I'm not saying it's tough. It's tough to talk about this stuff and to be open and honest, and not to be genuine and not triggering. But let's assume that you never were able to really get your demons under control. Let's assume you never really were able to change as like you want to change. You still have to live with yourself. You still have to accept yourself. And I think that self-love and self-acceptance are kind of the same thing. Like, you don't need a romantic relationship with yourself. You don't have to be the absolute best buds with yourself in the world, especially if you feel like there are things that need to be better about yourself, like I feel about me. But you do have to accept eventually that you have shortcomings, that you have flaws, and sometimes they're great, and sometimes they see, like I've been feeling lately, man, like there's so many things about myself that I wish were different. It could take a whole lifetime to unravel that. I could do it in 2 or 3 lifetimes, if you're into the reincarnation thing. Yet I don't want to have to think about it that way anymore. It may be the case, but I still have to accept that, look, I'm Jeff. I have flaws. I suck sometimes. But here we are. And I have to live how I have to live, and I have to be who I am. Because to be someone else is torture. It's slavery. To have to force yourself to be something you're not, it's torment. And I'm not doing it anymore. I know if I ever did do it. But like I said, the ones who will hang with you, they're worth their weight in the gold. And the ones who won't, if they want out, just say peace, bye, leave, part amicably as possible. But you have to understand, if you've clicked on this video because you saw schizophrenia and you're very close to this, you have it, or you know you have a loved one or a friend or something who does, your support. It's very difficult. Like, if you had told me before any of this happened what this is actually like, I mean, I never would have believed you. The eccentricities of it, the craziness of it, the specific nature of it, just what it's like day in, day out to hear all these horrible things all the time, and believe things that aren't true. It's it's tough. And at the moment, I'm sitting on the other side of it to a certain degree. I don't know when I'll have another psychosis. I don't know if I'll have another psychosis. I don't know. But I know that it's possible. And I know that in this moment, I am basically who I am. Well, that doesn't make sense. I am who I am. But I'm who I want to be most of the time right now. And I have to hold on to that if I can. And again, if people want to hang with that, they can. If they don't have to. The worst thing you can do is fight reality. The worst thing you can do is try to change what is when it won't change. Acceptance is harder in some ways, but it's freeing. You need to accept who you are to a certain degree. That doesn't mean you accept everything. It doesn't mean that you can't try to be better, and I would urge you to try to be better whoever you are. Just because the opposite is entropy, and that doesn't work so well with human beings. So I guess that's all I wanted to say today. You know, even in your best times, you might feel as though there's something wrong with the world or wrong with any given situation. A little acceptance goes a long way in that case too. So, okay. I'll do this again. Don't know when. Soonish, hopefully. And we'll see you then. In the meantime, if you like this video. If you want to subscribe and get more types of videos, I also do video game videos and music videos and sometimes some entertainment. Jeff Bowles Central. All sorts of good stuff on this channel. Please do. And I talk about mental health as well. Schizophrenia stuff. All right. Bye.